Hey, this is T-Dub. Just kind of hanging out here today and answering some mail. And I just get so much email and letters through the post now that I can barely keep up with it all. So I thought that maybe it would be helpful if I read a couple letters to you, and maybe that would be helpful for you too. I'm going to leave out the real names and the the real cities and states and such. But I've got a letter here from Karen. This actually came by email. I'm going to call her Karen. Her name rhymes with that, but I'm going to call it Karen. She says, Dear T-Dub, help. First of all, your book is helping me immensely, not to get an ex back, but to totally rejuvenate my communication with my boyfriend so that he never does become my ex. That's good. I'm dead stuck on one thing, though. You say that we train people to treat us badly, and I completely get that. You also say that we should reward good behavior, but not bad behavior. So here's my roadblock. How do I stop or punish, not reward that bad behavior? Great example. My boyfriend and I are in a long-distance relationship. I am in blank, and he is in blank. So our relationship revolves around phone calls. He has a really bad habit of saying, I'll call you later tonight at a certain time, and then not doing it. Or else just not calling all day and then calling at night when we can talk longer. I love checking in just to say hello phone calls as much, if not more, than the long conversations. I know he doesn't do it because he doesn't care. He's just a guy and doesn't really think phone calls like I do, but it bothers me. I so look forward to talking to him, and then he doesn't call. I feel forgotten and neglected, like something better has come up, and I got pushed aside. Even though in my heart I know it isn't true, these small things create a little seed of resentment inside of me, and sometime in the future it causes an inevitable fight over something totally unrelated. So I guess my question is this. How do I punish, not reward this behavior without sounding like a nagging shrew? How do I tell him this is not okay with me? I'm not angry, but I want to nip it in the bud before it creates resentment and leads to anger. Please help me. Thank you so much, Karen. Okay, Karen, that is a great question. You probably got, every woman that's been in any kind of serious relationship cheering along with you, kind of crazy. Why do guys do that? And how can you, and I think you know that subconsciously that you can't nag about it. That kills a relationship for men. Nagging just kills it. So, what do you do? And just for you, if you're not sure what Karen was talking about, in my book, Magic of Making Up, I talk about what's called CRM, or the Conscious Retraining Method. And it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but I say, how to train anyone to act the way you want them to act. And most of the time we go through our life and our day training people to act in ways that we don't want them to act. And this is a perfect example that Karen brings out here in the letter. Because let's say that Karen's boyfriend name is Tom, and that I'm just making that up. But Tom says he's going to call, and let's say that Tom finally calls the next day, and you pick up the phone, hey Tom, and you're just seething. You are seething already because he said he was going to call yesterday. So what would you normally do? What would you normally say? Now, normally, you don't have to answer that. Normally what happens is Tom gets an earful of how upset and pissed off you are. Or at least if you don't say it, you give it off in your tone. So what's happening? Tom calls you, and what is he getting in return? He's getting, Pavlov's dog, he's getting a shock. He's getting a shock there. Calls you, shock. Calls you, shock. That's not good reinforcement. We're actually training them to do what we don't want them to do. And this is what Karen is talking about. So what should she do? Because, if he's calling 2 days late, you're obviously not going to be happy with him. So it's a little bit tricky. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret about guys and about men. And what we won't come out and say it, but what we really want is we want to be admired. If you kind of picture back to the medieval days, like knights on shining armor, we want to be admired. We don't want nagging. Nagging equals shot, shot. And that's nagging. We want to be admired. If you go back to the old medieval days, there's a great sense of honor, and men will go to their death for you if they believe that in your mind you have this big self-image or a big image of them in their head. If they know that you see us as like some kind of knight in shining armor, we will go to battle for you. I mean, we will literally lay down our life for you. So what you do and how you how you play that to your advantage is when we do little things. Say, I'm using this as an example. When we do little things, you compliment us and appreciate us on these little things, and you do that to train us to do the small stuff like calling you. So there's a real quick example because I'm I'm kind of running out of time. If he does something small, let's say he does call you on time, and you say, "Hey Tom, gosh, yeah, you were right on time this time. I really appreciate and I admire how you are a man of your word. And when you say something, you do it. That's one of the things I love most about you." Do you see where I'm going with that? So when they do something right, even small stuff, you say, "Hey, one of the things I really admire about you is how when you say you're going to do something, you do it." And you don't have to use those words. I mean, use your words. But you catch a drift pretty soon. When Tom says he's going to do something, if he says he's going to call on a certain time or a certain day, he's going to do it. And you're exactly right. The last thing you ever want to do is nag him. And I could go on for hours about that. But you want to find small things that he does. When he says he's going to do something, if he says he's going to get the oil change in his car and he does it, say, "Man, you said you were going to do it. I knew you were going to do it." And even if you have a little bit of doubts, just give him the benefit of the doubt. And pretty soon, if you keep doing that, keep reinforcing that, he is going to come to a point where he thinks that in your mind, when you think of him, he's like that knight in shining armor. And he will go to his death for you. I guarantee it. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope I didn't run over time here. I'm going to try to throw this up on YouTube for you. If you haven't got my guide yet, it's called The Magic of Making Up. It's typically for folks that have just broken up. It'll be over on the link to your right. It'll be a little blue link just underneath the description there. I'd love to see you, and I'll try to get another video for you. I'm running out of time on this one. Thanks for listening.